always want to get a lead around the 20-minute mark. That's where they want to start pulling ahead. But for Huni here, for him to land a proper ulti, it's only going to be around Draven, who's going to be a target for him, because Youngberg is going to dive in together with Airwax. And obviously Zorn is going to be a bit on the side for him, trying to look for a pick. So only the Rumble ulti is basically just going to be for Freeze on his own. And if he has a Zillion ulti, then there's not really anything for Fnatic to dive onto him and kill him. So if Copenhagen Wolves manage to get him to a late game status, at least 2 items completed, then he should be able to do pretty much what he wants in the fight. There's of course going to be the Alistar to try and zone him away, but that's about it. I want to see how Wolves will play it, because this is not a standard comp for them.
No, not
for anyone.
I mean, it's really, that's all you can describe it. Freeze should know this matchup pretty well. He does play both these champions quite extensively. Sure. And I want to see if they do go for the standard lanes. You can see Unlimited hanging out in the bottom side. No, they are switching this one up.
Yeah, Unlimited is always making, he's doing some mind games early on. So he's hoping Fnatic has a ward in the bush down here, so they would see him. And then he also trying to show himself around the tower. He's like, oh, look, I'm bottom lane. Fnatic, they'll have a ward up here, so they know it's going to be swapped around, despite Unlimited with his small mind games. And we will get a lane swap going.
Yeah, we should indeed. So meanwhile, in the mid side, Febiven on this Ezreal. We've typically seen it's not necessarily to try and win the lane, just to be able to survive it out so you get to a safe spot. And there are a couple of globals between these two. You've got the Rek'Sai, you've got the True Shot Barrage. I want to see how that does combo up later on in this game. Fnatic, they've had some fantastic team fights so far this split. See if they continue this one here.
Well, that really is the important thing to note about Ezreal. It's not about killing people one-on-one. It's all about safe farming. You get your Manamune, you get your Trinity Force, and then you become extremely strong again in this mid-game, where you can start looking for skirmish, you can start fast pushing in, and you can always do a 1-4 setup, Rumble in one lane, the 280 carries in the mid lane, and then you just use your ulti from the Ezreal to start a push in the opposite lane, like let's say in the bottom lane. So you have Rumble top, double 80 carry mid, Ezreal ulti in the bottom lane to start these waves pushing for you, and then you can pressure the entire map at once. And of course, when you have a Hurricane Kalista, Trinity Force Ezreal, you will be able to push waves and take down towers very easily.
Youngbuck himself, speaking of wave clear, is going to have no trouble as long as he stays safe enough in this bottom side, just throwing down the continuous torment as well. Rain over Huni are going to go jungle buddy system, get a little bit of an invade going on, but there's only a Gromp to take. They might actually look at a dive here. Youngbuck, they're going to sense him out with the Tremor Sense. There we go. He's going to have the Black Shield on to stop the knockup. Fair amount of damage. He is going to get chased off this tower, however.
Alright, so what Fnatic is doing here is saying we cannot stop the Morgana from farming. We're also pushing the bottom lane because we did a camp at level 1. So we have to go down and try and zone him away. But with Unlimited showing himself as well as Huni having to go back because he needs to get some farm and XP in the top lane, then Copenhagen Wolves avoid the gank onto Youngbuck. And he's able now to get quite a lot of farm for himself on his own as this Morgana. It's very hard to dive her. So Fnatic tried to zone him away, realized, okay, we can't do it, especially because Unlimited showed himself. That's the thing in lane swaps. If you fast push the wave, you force the other team's support to recall and go down and defend with the top laner. And that means you have a one-on-one in the top lane now, so your Rumble can teleport up there, and he can be very safe, because you can, of course, see the Zillion sit with the Morgana in the bottom lane. So all Fnatic did here was force Unlimited to go back to base into the bottom lane, and give Huni now a free lane one-on-one against the Draven to at least get experience for himself.
Yeah, Fnatic should be perfectly okay with this situation right now. And, you know, historically, this bottom lane, Steelback Yellowstar, they have been a little bit further behind in general. We'll see how they do going forward, but if you take tabs on the CS numbers, they're looking pretty even with that Draven. So Freeze, he is going to have to go 1v1 with Huni for just a while longer. Yeah. It's still helping Youngbuck down on the bottom.
And Freeze didn't manage to get a big enough experience lead because it was so early it happened with Fnatic forcing that move from Copenhagen Wolves. So he's not going to be able to completely bully out the Rumble and just deny him any experience. And remember, Rumble itself, it's not really about gold early. It's very cheap for you to get your magic penetration. It's about levels. You need level 6 and you need level 11. That's your 2 big spikes with your ulti. And that's why getting experience is enough for Huni in this one-on-one and not straight up getting all the farm.
I'm curious where Rainover decides to make his first move in this situation. Knowing him, he does like to get a little more early aggressive than Airwalks on this Vi would typically do, but he's going to sense out Soren there, yeah. Not going to get involved in the jungle. He's still level down.
And this is so strong about Rek'Sai. You don't have any wards on that side of the wall, but just by sitting in the river you can see the roam coming from Copenhagen Wolves, and that's how you can at least alert your top laner. But now Airwax, he's managed to get unspotted in here. Now the ward will see him, and of course he's not level 6, so doesn't really have anything to lock down the Rumble, and Hoodie can just safely back away. I think about Rumble, yes, he won't get the farm, but Morgana on the other side, she will. Morgana is one of the best top lanes in 1 vs 2 because she can always put down the pool and just farm so easily. You can't even freeze against her because she will always get the push going and then reset on the tower.
Yeah, exactly. Not only that, but I mean, you just look at those numbers and that's exactly what you're getting at there. About 20 differential in the CS. Now Steelback is caught by the Dark Binding immediately. Yellow Star headbutts Youngbuck away. A lot of poke here, but not a lot of committed damage as Steelback and Yellow Star have been pushed into the tower.
And just mentioned all the farm for Youngbuck, that's great. But had it been any other top laner than a Rumble, I would have said, okay, this is awesome for Copenhagen Wolves. Morgana's going to be really far ahead, but because it is a Rumble itself, this is okay for Fnatic as a team. When he just needs the levels, Reyno, he keeps helping him, so he's not on the strong side of the map, where you have your dual lane in the bottom lane. He's instead just securing Huni. Let's see if he can get a gank going on Freeze.
Yeah, Freeze. Pretty good positioning on this Draven. You
should smell it. Whenever you see Huni go forward there, he should know there's a jungler waiting for him.
Yeah, he's going to speed himself up there. He's able to get out of that just fine for now. Taking actually a little bit too much damage. Saves the stand aside for the last minute. Gets another axe throw, and he will get away.
Ezreal ulti.
Back, but wait, the Ezreal not going to hit him. Ooh, that was close. His stop is back.
Probably wouldn't have killed him, though. But still, Freeze didn't have to take that damage. Whenever you see the level 5 Rumble walk past 5 minions to try and hit you, you know someone else is nearby. And in the end, Copenhagen Wolves, Fnatic force Freeze back. He's going swapping down to this bottom lane. So standard lanes from now on. But that was a good little push for them.
Yeah. A little bit of proxy farming there for Fnatic as well from the top side as they let the mini wave clear itself out. So Freeze will take his place down bottom. Should be able to grab a few more of those minions as soon as they come his way because Fnatic's bot lane is backing off now. Meanwhile, back in the mid, Soren going to try to make some action happen. Fabiven, half his health is gone. Let's take a look at that fan vote right now. A large amount of the Fnatic fans coming out in force for this one. 77% saying they're going to win.
So off to a decent start for Fnatic. Teleport was just used by Youngbuck on the top lane to catch the wave, which means there's a TP advantage for Fnatic to create a play, and they always like to use it. Huni is a player who doesn't mind sacrificing farm if it means he can get a kill or two for his team. He's going to teleport down to the bottom lane if anything happens there, and Youngbuck won't be able to follow. Freeze did manage to get his magic mark. For 55 CS, if you get every single one in a fairly normal pace, and then you will have a BF sword. He had more than that when he got back. So now Draven can look for the trades, because that AD ratio is what you need on your abilities, especially your Q, before you really want to fight.
Well, yes, indeed. Both these AD carries definitely going to require a little bit of a scale up of their own, but definitely different stats to be useful. Now we do get the 2v2. Let's see what Unlimited and Freeze can do together in this bottom side. Yellow Star and Steelback being very careful about this one. It's difficult if you start getting poked out by those axes.
Reyno will spot a pink ward here, so we now see how Fnatic has swapped focus from the top side of the map down to the bottom side here. A lot of wards being placed, pink wards and everything, to really make sure, okay, our two lanes, the mid and the bottom lane, can play aggressive, and as Reyno can do here, he has pressure on the dragon itself. So if Copenhagen will show two guys top lane, that should be a dragon for Fnatic down in the bottom lane here, with Rex already showing they're going to see it now.
They might sacrifice.
That's the Rex I want to go and help.
Assault and battery right there. Soren actually is a little bit low. They're taking it, but they get the first blood. Too many tower shots tanked by Copenhagen Wolves. However, they should be able to secure this one. Actually, Fnatic more interested in the mid lane. They don't quite have the mini wave to deal it down just yet, though. They're going to try.
They placed so many wards around the dragon. They have the jungler sitting nearby as well. They will be able to get one due to Yellow Star, so they're trading tower for tower. I can't see if Copenhagen Wolves can kill the top lane. They won't be able to because Huni, he has teleport ready. He can actually go in that ward here on the side. He's going in now.
Oh yeah, they're looking to try and collapse on this one. Actually, quick backs here from the Copenhagen Wolves. Can they get there in time to stop it? They don't see Huni is not going to go for that when he's tempted by the tastier meat of that Morgana. And yeah, Airwax is able to sneak his way back to base. Meanwhile, the bot lane Freeze and Unlimited take advantage of the fact that no one's at home for the time being. Should be able to snag themselves this tower.
So Fnatic really went all in on that mid tower. Didn't want the dragon, didn't want to defend bottom lane, just went straight for tower in mid lane. after the sort of gank on the top side. When you do play double AD, it's so important to get down these outer turrets fast, because it means you can move your ward line further into the enemy territory, and you need that to avoid the flanks coming from the likes of Abai, from even Youngblood teleporting behind him from Morgana. So when you can move your wards further in, that does allow you to play a bit more aggressive as Ezreal or Kalista, because otherwise, if you get flanked, or if you get to face check the enemy team and you're so squishy, you will die instantly. 3 guys on Fnatic side, the Rumble, the Ezreal, and the Kalista, all targets that can be blown up.
Yeah, and Copenhagen Wolves realizing that Fnatic weren't feeling safe enough to try and force anything down on that Dragon side, they go ahead and secure themselves that first one of the game. Now, Youngbuck could be a little bit isolated trying to clear this pink ward out. Yellowstar hanging around the side. The Phrase Seeker's going to come in. There are the Soul Shackles. They throw down the Equalizer. Doesn't hit anybody. Youngbuck, now they've found Airwalks as well, but they could be in a little bit of trouble. Airwalks is the one who's having to bail out, and Fnatic get nothing for that.
Oh, Youngbuck had the Black Shield. There was nobody to break it, obviously with Ezreal and Rek'Sai. He managed to stay alive and avoid another gank. You often see this from Fnatic as well. They like to make these power plays where they roam very early with Yellowstar, and then he gets joined by his jungler, maybe his mid lane, and there's only 4 guys sitting in your lane. And if you're not ready for it to defend, or at least stay alive, you will lose a tower from it. Now, oh, Freeze. Flash
Pound the ground right after Freeze flashed his way to safety. So yeah, compare summoners on that one. Fnatic, yes, they love to do this early roam strategy, try to throw them off guard, and they just catch back up sometimes when they've got the gold deficit into that mid game. Right now, however, they are sitting 1,300 behind. Copenhagen Wolves, will see if the Wolves can turn this into more than just that. The Dragon advantage as well. But of course, yesterday, Giants were able to amass quite the lead in the early game and also did significantly better in the laning phase. But Fnatic still came out with the win.
It was all about the mid-game fights. It's going to be the same for them in this game, with the Rumble Ezreal especially. Obviously, Kalista going for Blade first for Steelback. He did the same yesterday for him. When he had Still, he had Nunu, he had Alistar. He has so many things to peel for him in that game. Still went for the Blade for even more peeling. Normally when you see Blade in any other region, it's only if you don't have anyone to really help you and you have to stay alive on your own. Because it gives you less overall damage than if you go for like more AD early into, let's say, a BF Sword into Hurricane, into a BT. That gives you more damage than Blade and King Hurricane itself. But he's simply going for more safety. And then also with Kalista, it's so much about what the player prefers himself. There's so many different opinions on what's the best early on. Clearly, for Steelback, he likes to play first. And there it is.
There it is indeed. Over by this Baron pit, Huni's going to go ahead and clear out that Scuttle Crab. Soren spotted after he picks up the blue buff by the Sentinel. Some wards here from the Copenhagen Wolves, keeping tabs on the Fnatic team movements. We'll get up here to defend this tower, but it's not really going to last very much longer anyways, so that one gets taken down by the minions. Airwalk's going to run smack dab into a pink ward. Get that one cleared out, but he's got to be careful. Team was pinging him out. Yellowstar going to throw down another ward over by this red. Not quite cleared away in time.
But the Wolves does have teleport on Youngbuck. There's none on Huni. That's why they can go into the jungle of Fnatic, place a few deep wards, and potentially try and force a fight. Then Youngbuck can join it very easily in the jungle here on his Morgana, and that's how you can set up a few kills for yourself. So I like this play from Copenhagen Wolves, really using that TP advantage and also the information they get from just seeing Huni sit in his lane. Should be a red buff at least for the Wolves. And Fnatic don't really want to fight this one.
Yeah, they're going to start that up. There aren't enough people there to try and take it down. Freeze wanted to come join the party, grab that maybe for himself. Meanwhile, up in the top, Huni's looking to push in this tower. It's about half its health, and Youngbuck's not close enough to try to pick it. You also see Febivin making a roam up top. We'll see if he gets there in time to help out Huni. Youngbuck, though, going to walk back to tower defense.
Not sure why the Wolves want to try and follow this one. They're spotted by the wards. Okay, there's no tower to that. Could be the tactic for them to try and create a few picks. But also just gone for mid. There we
could be in some trouble right now. Huni, though, going to move around a flash for Airwalks. They get the assault and battery out onto Huni. Febivin going to go low, taking down. The bomb never even needed to blow because Airwalks takes him down, and Rainover isolated after the fact. Throw down the equalizer, but there are way too many members of the Wolves here, and Huni is in trouble. Wait, the tag team Yellowstar coming in. Huni is going to take down Soren. And Unlimited threw the Chrono Shift on the wrong person.
So as you just said it, though, there was no tower in the top lane. That's why Copenhagen Wolves didn't just push the mid lane for themselves. They went for the kills. They got a lot of them Ulti was a bit of a mistake, I think, from Unlimited onto Youngbuck and not Soren, who did end up dying for it and Freeze, trading a little bit of damage with Yellowstar.
Oh yeah, Yellowstar's got to be careful. Those axes are carving a side out of him. There we go, the Rek'Sai Scream. A minute to go onto this Dragon. Fnatic are going to want to secure the vision control. Let's see how that happened.
I like the aggressive plays by Copenhagen Wolves. I've been boring and just pushed the mid lane instead with the 4 guys when I saw Pippin show himself in top lane. But Wolves, they're chasing for the kills. They know there's no tower. Get the first one here, get the second one. Then we're just going to see how Unlimited doesn't get the ulti on the right target. Youngbuck walks in, full HP, like, for me. And that is so hard. They're on each other. So if you don't click the image on the side, it is nearly impossible to get the right target when it's like Youngbuck, Soren, and Airwax all on each other here. So it's a little bit unlucky for Copenhagen Wolves with that one.
Yeah, didn't quite get where they wanted to. Fnatic, however, still down some gold. They're still down a tower. The Dragon's 22 seconds away, but they've got quite a lot of vision in the mid side of this map. And you can see Febiven's just constantly using his True Shot Barrage to clear out waves, try and push waves away. They're in prime position to take this one up top. And Youngbuck, he didn't quite get the memo. Now he's going to start walking away. Will he get out in time? Not quite. Oh, hello. He's got the shield on. Looks like Yellowstar was going to knock him back, but it won't be able to do that thanks to the Black Shield. The Dark Binding not going to connect. Fnatic, very top-sided heavy right now. Nobody's looking at the Dragon. Just spawned.
I mean, see how Fnatic, they're the ones who keep trying to create the roams here. They want to make the plays led by Yellowstar and this Alistar. But because there's some deep walls placed by Wolves, they're expecting it. They do manage to react, and now they're going for another fight.
Yeah, Yellowstar's already at half his health there. He's got to be careful, but he's still the front line for this team. Got to walk away from that one. So the Wolves, smelling blood wherever they go, try to take the fight yet again.
Oh, it should be reload. It is very, very low, because every time Fnatic has moved away from the mid lane, the Wolves always have one guy pushing down the wave, and then they react after and roam up to whatever lane Fnatic has just tried to make a gank, and then at least get some damage on the tower. Oh, this Dragon as well should belong to the Copenhagen Wolves.
Yeah, Fnatic's going to try it again. He gets the sight with the True Shot Barrage, but it's going down, going low, and there we go. It's smited away. 2 Dragons to none. Copenhagen Wolves will pick up that next one. Fnatic just a little slow to respond. And this tower, I mean, yeah, they should be able to take it even if Forbidden just does everything it can to keep the defense. Yellowstar here as well, but this tower is so low. It's just going to take a stiff breeze to blow it over.
It's one hit from Freeze or Soren should be able to do it for Copenhagen Wolves. No real rush, however, because Fnatic will be roaming again. We know that, so as long as they keep up good walls around the river from the Wolves side and 1 or 2 in their own jungle, they should be able to spot when Yellowstar and his team move to one of the side lanes. We have seen Youngbuck just use the Black Shield, just save it, and then as soon as their headbutt comes, you Black Shield yourself, you stay alive, and then Copenhagen was trying to react. 2 Dragons for 0, but then no Trinity Force yet completed on Pippin. He really wants to hit that double item spike before we can see Fnatic look for any kinds of pushes for them. And 430 stacks for Freeze on this Draven. So when he gets a kill, he's gonna cash in pretty big time. He already sits on that BT. Normally he goes Ghostblade as the second one, so he goes for like flat AD and armor penetration, not crit, just because your ratios are so good. And you will hit like a truck, unless it's on the Alistar.
Oh yes, well Alistar can stop a truck. But for Freeze, when they do give him this kill, it's going to be really big. He should almost be able to buy an item just with the gold yield from that one alone. So
close to
Fnatic, they're playing it out very cautiously right now until they do hit those item spikes, and you can tell that they're not wanting to take a fight if they can avoid it. And when they do roam together, it's to try to grab a quick objective that the Wolves haven't really been putting too much thought into.
And because there's going to be so much focus on Freeze in the fights, then it also explains the Blade a bit more for Steelback, because he will most likely be left on his own. And it's going to be about Yellowstar trying to dive the Draven, keep him busy with his ulti, because he's the only guy who can tank him. So he's not going to be there to help his 280 carries. And we don't see the blue build from February where he's going Iceborne Gauntlet second. So he doesn't have any kind of kiting either, which simply means these 80 carries are going to be much on their own in the back line if we're going to get these kind of fights where Freeze will be the main target for Fnatic to shut down.
There we go. Tower. They do manage to secure that one at the very least, so not quite cashed in. But here we go. Over on the bottom side, the Fate's Call throwing Yellowstar and popping the flash of Airwalks trying to save this turret. They do successfully. However, the Wolves are looking for something more than just a tower.
Yeah, every time they see Huni sit in a side lane and farm, they don't hesitate to walk in the jungle of Fnatic, ward it up a few more times, and then you can push 2 lanes at once because you have all the vision in the mid lane or in the jungle, and it's very easy for you to rotate in and out, go down and either help someone or spot again if Fnatic is coming for the gank. So they're basically using Huni farming in a side lane to always get control, and they're just focusing on one area of the map. They're saying, okay, bottom side, that's where we have our strong points now, so that's where we invest all our wards. So we play around those 2 lanes, and we don't try and fill the entire map.
Look at that gold difference between the 2 AD carries, or rather the 2 bot lane AD carries, I should say. Freeze, despite not cashing in those stacks, he's really gotten an edge here over Steelback, which has kind of been the trend we've seen at 10-20 minutes or so. And picks up the Yoma's Ghostblade too. He's going to have that extra speed boost. They really want to get him on somebody. Soren getting a little dangerously close, but he's able to back away with the chains.
And if anyone cares about Draven runes, then Freeze, when he knows he can get a lane swap, when he aims for one, he likes to go full armor penetration rune on this Draven here. But there, we talk about that later because Pepperman, he's in trouble.
Yep, he definitely is.
And
the Whirling Death he's dodging away from. Oh, not the back. Forgot about that second 10.
But yeah, Freeze at the moment, he's sitting on 37 armor penetration, flat armor penetration. So that's a lot of early game damage for him coming in. Also why he likes this build here.
Tower's down.
BT into Ghost.
Rainover. He's a little bit low here. They don't want to follow him all the way into basic Knight, taking away his health bar. Meanwhile, in the bottom side, they did secure that outer turret, but they did give up quite a lot for it. Copenhagen Wolves on the offensive.
It's the same again for the Wolves. They see someone from Fnatic in a side lane, and they say, okay, we don't care about the one lane. We're going to pressure the other 2. Every single time they're going to swap the focus from the bottom side to the top side, instantly place a lot of wards in the jungle, push down 2 lanes at once, almost got the kill on February. Fnatic, though, fast to react, move in, and defend here, and they got the bot lane tower. So that was a good little trade by Fnatic. Or did they lose the mid tower? Am I wrong here? Ignore everything I said. Focus got the mid tower.
But alright.
Still the same way to do
the inner turret for the outer.
Yeah,
I mean, it's definitely a much better trade for the Wolves in that
For
situation.
sure, for sure.
The Dragon is up in another minute. They're trying to clear out the Vision Airwalk, so he's got to get out of here if he wants to be useful in the next minute or so. Yellowstar, he's going to get the catch. He's going to get the headbutt back, and Airwalk's going to try to dash to safety, but that's a wall. You can't go through that. As Steelback comes up with the pick, 50 seconds on the death timers. Airwalks will be available when he comes back up for that Dragon, but still, that is a good pick for Fnatic.
Yeah, one small mistake by Airwax and he gets punished instantly, meaning Fnatic now can get a bit of control around the Dragon if they want to fight for it. They gave up the last 2, remember, they didn't even try to test them, just gave them over to the Wolves. And they're in a tricky spot, because Freeze is already getting really strong on Draven, Death Cap is completed for Soren, only thing missing for the Wolves is the Hourglass on Youngbok. If that gets ready before the fight itself, it won't be. He's only on 200 gold. So Fnatic can still look for it. They have 2 items completed on Ezreal. In this case, you have the Hourglass. No boots yet for Huni or upgraded boots. So went straight for this Hourglass, knowing, okay, there's going to be a big fight. I'm going to have to sit in the front line, and I need to buy time for my team, my 280 carries, who's going to be kiting in the back line. If they can take down the Vi first, before I end up dying, then we can start chasing, and we can win the fight. That's why he's going for this early Hourglass instead of getting the boots.
Speaking of fight, we could see that one in just a moment. This would be a crucial Dragon to deny. It gets proc to start the Copenhagen Wolves. They have so much damage between them, but the question is, do Fnatic react? Huni, he's not here. The Dragon, they peeled off it as Airwalks tries to lock down Rainover. He gets the Assault and Battery. They blow him up. Youngbok coming up with the kill for that one. Fnatic just way too slow to respond now. What do they do now that Huni has arrived? They've got no smite to try to fight this one out. Looks like this could be a 3rd pickup for the Copenhagen Wolves. Huni still is taking pot shots at it, but it goes down. The True Shot Barrage comes in too late.
But it was Fnatic who got the kill onto Airwax before, so they should have been the one in control of the Dragon area if they wanted to fight for it, which they clearly did. That's why they were staying here nearby it. And yet they gave up the entire river. Another fight might break out.
Yep, they're going to pull Yellowstar back. Will they throw him back in? Yes, they do, but Steelback, he's going down and Freeze cashes in big. Take him shopping after that one. However, the Wolves are starting to drop Unlimited, and Freeze already down. Airwalk's getting collapsed on by the remaining members of Fnatic. He's going to Vault Breaker his way to safety. It's a 1-for-3 trade after that one, though, as Febivin comes up with another.
Everyone from the Wolves, they dive straight onto Steelback. He did end up dying, but so did Freeze on the other hand, and then Fnatic could start cleaning up the fight. They're going straight for Baron here. Soren is recalling now, so that's going to be extremely late. Only Youngbok is here to try to defend.
Yeah, he's going to try and do the hero movement. They've detected him after that because he does go ahead and stop on his way to clear out the Rek'Sai tunnel before members of Fnatic. Tormented Soil there, Youngbuck just trying to harass and harangue the members of Fnatic to push them off this Baron. It's going oh so low, there's still no smite. Bebivin, he's gonna run his way right in, and then they turn their attentions to Youngbuck. He's got
Soren is here.
The shield on. Here comes Soren, you're right, right over, a little bit low, locked up by the chains. They will serve up some Void Monster for lunch, or maybe not. Yes, they do. Soren comes up with that pick. However, several members of Fnatic still possessing that Baron buff.
Still got it. Okay, let's see the fight again. So Copenhagen Wolves, after getting that 1 kill on Rainover, they want another one. Yellow slides perfectly in the front line. Does get drawn in, but he's back in there now. So look at all this investment from the Wolves onto just Steelback, and that means now the rest of Fnatic can start cleaning up. Fabian, he was left untouched. Rainover rejoins after dying, and everyone just has to run away. Baron for Fnatic, a good team fight. Sacrifice your AD carry. You don't care because you kill the rest.
Yeah, the one silver lining for that one is, of course, the fact that Copenhagen Wolves, after all of this, do manage to secure themselves that cash in for Draven. They got the last Whisper pretty much off the back of it. But still, it's a consolation prize. You got to think after that fight just went awry for them, and they give up the Baron, the empowered minions now. They're marching down the middle, and it's Copenhagen Wolves that are slow to react.
Yeah, the really big thing in that last fight, there was no ulti from Unlimited used on the Copenhagen Wolves. Not sure why. Freeze was out of range. I just re-rushed it. Another reason for the Wolves to lose. So some misplays from them. And Fnatic, as we know them in these big team fights, they are so good at finding the right targets.
And blowing them up. That's exactly what they did. Now they look for the top side, started to kick it into high gear. Again, the Wolves a little slow to respond. They are making moves to defend this top side turret, but there's a pretty big wave at the backs of Fnatic. And they are looking to push this one. However, got to be careful not to get flanked. True Shot Barrage comes in. They're going to be able to see this one detect. Actually, I lied. It's not a big wave. It's only about 4 minions strong, and it's depleting.
But we did see the True Shot Barrage go down to the bottom lane. Again, using this Ezreal to push the side lane, so you don't have to send a guy down to do it. You can stay together as a team, and now the minions will do the work for you. You might need another one for this bottom lane before it starts pushing, and it's going to take a long, long time before it's in a relevant spot. So they only have this top wave, Airwax and Youngbuck. Can they land the binding? They're going in at least.
They are going to try. Youngbuck taking a lot of damage off of that one. Hooney's going to throw down the equalizer. They don't connect the Dark Binding. Rainover going in, going oh so low, not quite taken down. However, Whirling Death comes in, but everybody stays alive except for Soren. He's the one who got popped.
Again, the ultis from Unlimited not really working out. There was still an Outlast for Youngbuck, and he was basically out of the fight when it was placed from Unlimited, meaning now Soren had nothing to keep him alive. And Airwax, got the Black Shield.
Yeah, I did get the Black Shield, but he may not live through this one. Anyways, True Shot Barrage coming in, and he's taken down. Youngbuck now having to throw down the Zhonya's after the Soul Shackles. Rainover just comes in quick and gobbles him up. They take a turret on the back as well. Fnatic starting to steamroll.
Really using this Baron so well with the towers, the kills they get, punishing Copenhagen Wolves for their mistake earlier. And another one. Soren tries going for the pick. Well, sorry, Cillian ult is already blown. You will now end up dying. And really using this Ezreal so well. We talked about how he doesn't really want to make it a place before his Manimune and Trinity Force. As soon as those two items were completed, Fnatic said, okay, we're ready to fight. The Copenhagen Wolves got the dragon, but then got punished after Soren. He's looking for a pick. And despite Fnatic doing so well, the last, let's say, 2 minutes, Wolves are still 3-0 in terms of dragons. They're only 2,000 gold behind. This is not over yet. Freeze with his, I believe, like 1,200 gold he got from that kill earlier. The passive.
Oh yeah, he's doing just fine.
He's definitely not done.
It's the rest of the Wolves that really are having a little bit of trouble adjusting in this game, falling a little bit further behind, but they do have the 3 dragon to none advantage here. Exactly. They're going to have that, all those buffs. They're going to have the movement speed, particularly to try to dodge around Fnatic's engages, but there's another minute before this next dragon comes up. Now this is crucial for Fnatic to start denying and taking it of their own, but with their newfound strength, shouldn't be too hard for them.
For this next fight here, Unlimited needs to be on point with his ulti. That's the only reason you pick the Zillion in these fights, is to make sure that Draven, the Fairly, the mobile Draven, does not just get instantly popped when the fight starts. So stay with him. That fight in the mid lane, where we pointed out how he missed the ulti, or he didn't get it onto Freeze. He tried to flash in range, but it was just too late. So there was a bit of missed position for them. That cannot happen again.
No, it cannot, but the Wolves, they might have found themselves in a tricky situation right now. The big knockup from Yellowstar. Soren, very low. The equalizer thrown down Airwalks, Assault and Battery. The rest of the team is there, but Whirling Death comes out. They've got the hourglasses going. Hooney's going to get shut down. Another cash stack for Freeze. However, it is Fnatic that are starting to melt here. Rain over Hooney going down, and the Wolves come up with a big fight there.
A lot better from Unlimited here with his ult onto Airx. Made sure he could stay in and stay alive. Freeze in this fight. He was left untouched. A great ult by Youngbug as well. Coming in, trying to zone away Fnatic. This Dragon should be number 4 now for Copenhagen Wolves. 30 minutes in. Suddenly, the next one is really important for Fnatic to stop.
Oh, yes, it is. 4 Dragons 2-0. It's going to be a tough climb for them in that situation. They looked oh so good until that point. But this time, this was the fight that the Wolves had.
Yeah, so let's try and see how Freeze is positioned. Yellowstar goes in first, uses his entire combo, backs away, and now the Wolves manage to get away from the equalizer as well. And Freeze, because there's so much CC coming from Youngbug, from Airwax first as well, he's basically safe on his own, popping a few targets. Good ult by Unlimited this time around, and the Copenhagen Wolves can win the fight. If the Alistar is not there to zone the Draven, then Fnatic are in trouble, because the 280 kills for them cannot take down targets as fast as Draven can on his own, because there's so many squishy members, except for the Alistar.
Right, and this is why you take the Vi in this situation. Not only did you get the instant turnaround engage with the Assault and Battery, but it also makes you the instantaneous center of attention. Here, focus me. And then the Chrono Shift is a no-brainer from that point, and perfectly executed from Airwalks and Unlimited in that situation. That nets them the 2 kills. Now the Wolves looking to push up mid. 40 seconds till the next Baron's about to spawn.
We had such a big difference in 80 carries. If you look like Kalista and Draven, Kalista is all about a fairly long team fight where you get a lot of hits onto a target before you pop your Rend, and that's where you get your burst from. Where Draven is basically from the first auto attack, it's just smack. Critting, whatever, 600, 700 onto a target. Kalista needs more time. Ezreal needs more time before they can kill targets. So for Fnatic, it's either all in with your Alistar, with your Rumble, onto Draven, make sure they tangle damage, or you start kiting instead in the fights. When Airwix goes in, you start backing away. Slowly just kite back, single out him first. Force Zillion to use the ulti on him. Keep kiting. Don't allow Freeze to just stand there and get free hits onto you. Really try and use your mobility on the 280 carries. And then you can turn it around. The ulti from Rek'Sai. Oh, sorry, the knockup from a Rek'Sai, the ulti from a Rumble. Then you can disengage or re-engage after some of the crucial ultis have been blown by Copenhagen Wolves. Because a Vi with no ulti is not going to offer too much in terms of team fighting.
No, indeed, but Copenhagen Wolves in the last couple have been able to abuse that timing that they do have quite well. We knew this game was going to be pretty even from the off. It looks like it has lived up to this one. However, yep, they've got the flank on Soren's there. Airwatch the Viven could be in some trouble right now. He's isolated from the team. Hooney trying to get to him. Youngbuck is going to have his Dark Binding flashed away. Copenhagen Wolves trying to bail out of this one, but Fnatic a little bit indecisive of their own. Soren here not wanting to pick a fight with the rest of Fnatic. He's going to distort his way away to safety. Fnatic moving in the direction of the Baron, but they're not so foolhardy to try and start this with so many healthy members of the Wolves hanging around.
Peppermint is fairly low still on this Ezreal. He does have the PT, so can lifesteal back up if he gets to the minion. Ult is used by Airwix and TP by Youngbuck. So the Wolves have to wait before they can start the next fight. They don't want to risk Fnatic is kiting around them, or this happens.
Or the knockback, yeah, the Black Shield is on. Airwalks is the one who's a little bit low, however, Draven in the back. Freeze is able to keep those axes spinning. The Fate Skull comes out. Hooney, Flame Spitter with the Zanyas. Soren's having to bail out as well. He's got a whole lot of spears sticking through his head. And they're going to send out the True Shot Barrage as the
Soren is so
low. He didn't go down, but he can't get involved, and immediately Fnatic pinging for Baron right now. This is going to be the muscle move for them.
Grace is here with full HP Unlimited. Has his ulti still.
Oh, but Unlimited, hello! Didn't even use the Chrono Shift. They get themselves a Baron on top of the Copenhagen Wolves. They just didn't have the timing. Freeze is going down, a double kill for Feathervin. The Dark Binding goes wide, but Rainover is there. Airwalks dashing away the Prey Seeker. They want to chase it down. And the Wolves, they just blew that one.
Yeah, I don't know why Unlimited was going on his own to the top side.
Oh, Feathervin
as well.
The unofficial triple.
Ooh. So, first of all, let's go back. Copenhagen Wolves, they tried to engage onto Feathervin. They didn't kill him. They disengaged, but then suddenly Fnatic with the flash Q from Yellowstar started another fight. Nobody ends up dying, but Fnatic was still very healthy from it. got the whole thing reset. Copenhagen Wolves couldn't do anything, and then around the Baron, Unlimited just going on his own. Stay with your Draven. Please, that's all you have to do if you want him at least to go and try and stop a Baron.
He must have missed the memo, and the Copenhagen Wolves, despite being up 4 dragons to none, are proving that even with that edge, you can still lose the first inhibitor Unlimited. Look at this. It just, he didn't even instantly get popped. Does music on it.
What can happen is if you don't look at your character and you just click around the Baron, it takes a wrong or well, a bad path around it. But it was just a really big misplay from him. Not saying the Copenhagen Wolves would have stopped the Baron, but at least could have traded 2 kills, I would say, with the Draven, or been able to disengage after getting that 1 kill for free to not end up getting completely aced, that is delayed ace. Definitely a misplay from Unlimited on Zilean.
Oh yes. Now 43 seconds till that next dragon. This time Fnatic should be in good position to take this one out. There's not a whole lot of vision by that side, but there's a missing inhibitor in the middle for the Wolves. Freeze still looking relatively healthy in all of this, but the rest of his team not quite up to the same standard. And yeah, really big question marks as to what Unlimited was doing there.
Anyway, Fnatic, 5-man, they have the Baron. Dragon is spawning in 20 seconds, so them putting pressure on the bottom side is very smart because it allows them to just back down towards the Dragon after. But look at the Copenhagen Wolves here. They're going to set up a flank. We're going to get a fight.
Yep, Yellowstar already taken very low. The Fates Call is going to pull him in, but all of a sudden Airwalks and Soren are there. The Assault and Battery on to steal back. The Whirling Death comes through. Airwalks going down, but they've got the Chrono Shift on him. Soren is actually going to fall, and they don't have the follow-up damage. Airwalks goes down the second time, and that's for real. A 2 for none, and Fnatic forget the Dragon. We're pushing for inhibitors.
Pushing. They might even be able to finish the game here with 2 guys dead for Copenhagen Wolves. Another 40 seconds. No ulti for Yellowstar, however, so he can't go too aggressive, but they have the buffed up minions cannon as well.
They're staying in the base. They're going to try to push down the Nexus turrets here. Not enough of a response. Youngbuck going to try. The Soul Shackles dodged up by everyone, but Huni throws down the Zhonya's at the last second, and the Wolves are starting to evaporate. 1 Nexus turret goes down. 37.5 minutes into this game. Fnatic, no dragons to their name. They've given up 4, but they're on the Nexus right now, and the Wolves, what the hell happened? GG comes in. Fnatic take the win.